Are keeping you informed and preparing you for the day with the latest information that you need to know about coronavirus.
We begin this morning with a tribute to those who have died from the virus. President Trump ordered that flags be flown at half-staff this weekend on federal buildings, honoring the more than 94,000 people who died from the virus in the U.S. Now, that will continue on Monday as flags remain at half-staff for Memorial Day.
And racing returns to Charlotte Motor Speedway on Sunday for the Coca-Cola 600. Drivers and crew members will all have their temperatures checked when they arrive. And for the first time, fans won't be allowed at the track.
And starting tonight, 5 o'clock, North Carolina will officially move into Phase 2. The order moves the state into a safer at-home phase that eases certain COVID-19 restrictions. And one of the most anticipated parts of Phase 2, of course, is dining out at restaurants.
A lot of people are excited about that, but when it comes to the bars and the breweries, the governor's order is causing some confusion about who can and cannot reopen. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Castora is live for us just outside of Old Mecklenburg Brewery. Anthony, there are some key differences here.
Yeah, Brittany, and as you mentioned, we are just hours away from the weekend now, and whether you can sit inside a restaurant or a brewery starting at 5 o'clock tonight, all boils down to one thing: a kitchen. For instance, here, Old Mecklenburg Brewery here in South Charlotte has an extensive menu, and they will reopen tonight. But for other breweries like Dream Chasers and Waxhaw, they won't be allowed to open because they're not licensed to serve food. The Brewers Guild is negotiating with the state right now, fighting the governor's decision to allow all breweries to reopen, regardless if they have a kitchen or not. Many restaurant owners have been getting ready to welcome customers back, only half as many at a time and with strict social distancing. But they say they can't afford to wait any longer.
Starting in April would have been just our busy season all the way through summer, and we've watched our sales just drop off significantly. And unfortunately for our cans, they've been really keeping us alive.
Now, we asked the state why breweries and cocktail bars cannot open under the same guidelines as restaurants. Dr. Mandy Cohen would only say that everything we do right now has a risk, and the state chose to pull back from its original plan for Phase 2. Here in Mecklenburg County, the ABC enforcement officers say they're still waiting for clarification from the state about these rules. But for now, only establishments with those kitchens will be allowed to reopen. Back to you.
All right, Anthony, we know this is just so tough for so many. Thank you so much for that clarification there. Now, it's not just the restaurants and the breweries that are being forced to make these changes. Also, starting today, you've got salons, pools, and parks. They'll all have to follow the social distancing guidelines. Now, we know you have a lot of questions about this, okay, so we want to walk you through all the changes here. You've got barbers, shops, and salons that can reopen, but they can only do so at 50% capacity. They must also practice social distancing, follow strict cleaning requirements, and it is suggested that customers and workers wear masks. Now, once the rain clears up, you'll be able to go for a swim. Pools are allowed to open at 50% capacity, just like the salons. They must also follow the social distancing and the cleaning requirements. And when it comes to the parks, okay, this is where things get a little bit tricky. Okay, parks and the trails, they are wide open for you to use while maintaining that 6 feet distance from other groups. But the playgrounds there are still closed. Those won't be opening until Phase 3. All right, so what does Phase 3 look like, and when could that begin? All right, we have to meet some certain requirements here, like the number of cases trending down. Right now, the governor says Phase 2 will likely last until June 26th. Now, he has not given an update about what Phase 3 will look like, but in the past, he has said that restaurants and churches can increase their capacity, and high-risk groups will still be encouraged to social distance, and rigorous restrictions will continue at the nursing homes and congregate care settings. And another major story that we'll be following for you today: families living in a South Charlotte motel. They were evacuated last night after the fire department said it was no longer safe for them to live there.
Channel 9 has followed the legal battle at the Days Inn on Woodlawn Road for months now. Eyewitness News reporter Gina Esposito is there this morning live for us to explain this ongoing dispute and what comes next, Gina.
Yeah, it's a very sensitive situation here at the Days Inn. This morning, we can see that barriers are up, caution tape up around the hotel after the Charlotte Fire Department deemed it unsafe. This is some video last night when people were evacuated Charlotte Fire and CMPD were there assisting with the process. We're told people who left were provided assistance. It's now been more than a month since residents were asked to leave by the hotel owner. Since then, it's been a legal battle with some people who refused to leave. Earlier this week, a judge ruled the owner could remove people who were trespassing, while other long-term residents could stay. The hotel owner says some residents caused more than $20,000 in damage from dented doors, broken locks, and security cameras. One woman who is staying here with her children tells me she could no longer lock her door and was concerned about her safety. Legal Aid, which represented 9 of the 12 tenants, said their clients didn't damage the property. They believe there are a few that ruined it for everyone else. A CMPD officer has been out here this morning. We're told that residents will be able to return here in a couple of hours to retrieve the rest of their belongings. Back to you.
All right, just a tough situation all around. Gina Esposito live for us this morning. A mysterious syndrome responsible for the deaths of several children in New York is now in the Carolinas. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services says it has its first case of multi-symptom inflammatory syndrome in children. It's also known as MISC. Now, the symptoms include persistent fever, inflammation, poor organ function. This can actually lead to death. Now, the state says the patient here is back home and recovering. The department would not say what city or county the patient lives in. But last week, Atrium told us it was treating one patient who had some of the parameters for this illness. The first U.S. cases were reported in New York back in May. Early May, at least 3 children have died. At least 20 states plus Washington, D.C. have reported they are investigating possible cases. North Carolina reported 738 new positive cases of COVID-19 yesterday, the second highest number that the state has reported. But the percent of the tests that came back positive, that was about 7.5%, and that's about the same percentage we've seen for the last week. The state is also still well above their daily testing target. South Carolina has nearly 9,400 cases, 416 deaths there. The state's percent of positive cases was 5.5%.
And in Wilkesboro, a daycare center shut down after reports of a possible case of coronavirus involving a child. The health department says children and workers at Double Trouble Early Learning Daycare have been exposed to the virus. The health director could not provide the number of children infected, but DHHS says it is aware of COVID-19 in children who attend the daycare. Also in Wilkesboro, nearly 600 workers at the Tyson chicken plant there have now tested positive for COVID-19. The company says about 25% of its workforce in Wilkes County has the virus. Tyson Chicken says the majority of those cases are not showing any signs of the illness. And those asymptomatic cases have some workers concerned about their safety.
That's more scary when you're asymptomatic because you're not feeling sick, so you're running around here exposing yourself to other people.
Well, Tyson says that workers who test positive receive paid leave and that they may return, but only when they have met the criteria established by the CDC and company.